Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of 30 Videos in 30 Days with Deep Video. I am your host, Jason Dyer. I am joined tonight by Paco Estrada.
Hello, hello.
We are still in that awkward bunker. You might be familiar with the green lighting and the weird gentleman with the crazy great beard in the background. We're going to get into this thing and talk with Paco about the struggles of maintaining your integrity and artistry. We're doing this because we're trying to be super selfish and get as many eyes as we can on ourselves. We're trying to raise money to get down to Austin, Texas, to be part of the Worker Cooperative National Conference held at the University of Texas, July 29th through the 31st. You can go to Indiegogo and just search for Cooperative Dallas. I guarantee you we're the only ones there. Paco, why don't you tell some of these folks that may have never seen you what it is you do and why it is we're chatting with you today?
I'm a singer-songwriter right here in Dallas, Texas.
Did you say senor?
Senor Paco. No, I'm a singer-songwriter here in Dallas, Texas. I tour around regionally. I do it full-time to pay my bills, and I've had many ups and downs.
Right on.
Which I believe is why we're talking right now.
Sure. Part of it is to, part of the creator series, I have three agendas really. One, to meet a lot of really cool people that are doing something with their lives. Two, to talk about the difficulty of maintaining your integrity and ownership of the work that you create. And three, to kind of be like, hey, kids, watch out. Every time they want to come, anytime you can find a new artist who's getting into the scene, just to let them know, hey, keep your head up, anticipate these things. Those are the reasons. So, I'll start with some of the basic questions. How long have you been a singer-songwriter that was working full-time to pay the bills?
I wrote my first song when I was 8 years old.
Right on.
No, I guess about 19.
Okay.
I got into it. I was still working at Starbucks for a little while, and then the whole major label thing came into my lap, and I got to be like, yeah, produces people.
Right on.
And that was cool.
So who
put in my 2 weeks notice?
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. So you did that whole thing.
Yeah. And that happened in 2003. Early 2003, I was in a rock band called South FM.
Okay.
We got picked up by MCA Records, and then it was just also happened to be a really awful time for the music industry.
Sure. And
within about 6-7 months, we toured around the United States. The single was a song called Dear Claudia. Started with a buzz here on the Edge with Jesse, and she started getting picked up across the United States. The label put a lot of love into us. Unfortunately, everybody that was working for us at the end of the summer lost their jobs. Everybody got fired, and Geffen bought out MCA, and Geffen could care less who we were. So we tried to ask for a little bit more tour money and asked if we could push another song from the album, and they just kind of kept pushing us away and said, look, we don't even have an A&R assigned to anybody that's not already one of our Geffen bands, you know, like, you're going to be on hold for a little while. And so they actually made it look like it was, all right, they're like, well, you guys want to move forward, so we should probably talk about you getting your album back so that we can move forward. So kind of turned around on us, and then we didn't even get it back. So they still have all that. So yeah, they own all the rights to those recordings, and
so you can never get royalties on that again.
Well, yeah, not specifically off
videos on YouTube.
Yeah, you try to put videos on YouTube with those versions, those recordings.
They get flagged for copyright.
Yeah, they get flagged, and this guy's made many a video for me, and they're just sitting there in some shelf somewhere, not doing anything.
Will you at least get notified if they do decide to do something within the future?
I have no idea.
Oh man,
maybe they might go through the old management. I don't know. I don't think I would get notified personally.
So what would you do if, like...
Sorry, there's got to be some sort of, like, archive lottery that they do. Like,
maybe, yeah.
This band that we screwed over, we'll make them famous.
No, I'm just saying, like, can you imagine? I'm trying... Okay, as we're talking
CDs
about
were probably dumped in a dumpster or two.
I would just hope that it would stay there and never... Like, I would hate to be 5 years down the line and hear a chorus, or a hook that you wrote on someone else's shit because they had the catalog and dissected it and smashed or whatever they could do.
Yeah, well, I don't know all the technicalities of what we signed.
Sure.
I believe that they own those recordings.
Okay.
But they don't own the songs.
Good. All right.
So if the chorus popped up somewhere, I'd be getting credit for it somewhere online. I mean, I'm a writer, so the writer shares. Like, we still get... Dear Claudia was picked up on an episode of Law & Order with Fred Savage.
Right on.
And so, I mean, I still get writer share from that every now and then.
Okay.
When it airs a lot on TBS.
Oh, I mean, it's Fred Savage. That's a good one to get paired up with.
DVD
That
sets.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we looked out. That was like our one thing. That made us more money than... the signing bonus was really big. It was really nice. And we all got to stop working and play around with money. And
Did you good instruments?
Did you ever feel...
I showered in money on a daily basis. I did the dollar bills. I made it rain before that phrase was even popular, and I would just lie down in my money. Well, that's how I slept.
So, at least one time that's real, right? Like getting stacks and throwing them.
Once, yes, right in the beginning. Yes,
Yeah.
I went and cashed.
It was coins.
I cashed out a lot of
she was
money,
upset.
and I asked for all ones, and it was a difficult process. But
I'm sure, yeah.
in the name of being able to sleep in dollar bills, it was awesome. Because plenty of times I'd rolled around in Monopoly money, dreaming of the day that I could.
Wow, man,
get
right
real
on.
Money,
So that was kind of like a bookend moment for you.
Yeah, that was one of those proved to me that like the secret works.
Ah, okay.
If you do it like you're gonna like it's happening,
Yeah.
more likely to happen.
So fake it till you make it. Is that the way to go?
Yeah, I think
Right
so.
on.
You got to. I think even so we got dropped, right?
Sure.
And then we put out a second record that was amazing, and we were just like, we got a management.
But this is still on your own.
We have
That's South
our
FM.
local label. It was a regional label. It was called Brando Records.
Okay.
Rainmaker was the management team, and it was just like, well, this is we can do this on our own. Like, why even?
Sure.
It's like we can if you can get someone to spot some money for the recording and for the pressing, then that's what a label does. Like,
Right,
it's
yeah,
the same
exactly.
thing. You're good to go. And then we toured regionally, and we did really great. I think we made ourselves, our own business and made it run like what we had learned to do, which was on a bigger scale,
Right.
But then it was like we just kept it to regional touring, and I think, we all stayed. We kept it to where you stay afloat. We just kept what momentum we had going.
Right on.
basically. And I think the bigger you do your products, the more time you spend on your posters, the more, when people see it and the products are like, they know the difference between, I guess the drummer threw this together and like,
Sure.
these guys got their shit together. Like there must be like Nick's stuff, the Fair Use video, that it looks like there's a team of people working.
Oh man,
on it,
the first time I saw it, right? And I can't honestly remember. I think it was the kids from Rocket Science Academy who had turned me on to what you're doing out there. And the first time I saw those videos, I was kind of stunned. I was like, I was imagining exactly like you're saying. I imagined like 7 people working in a computer hovel somewhere, like bench, like tables, just
and you know
for
what's funny,
days.
though?
And
Like it wasn't 7 people. It was Nick Cowley.
right.
But what's
Number one question I get: what are you doing here?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing? How do you answer that? Really,
Well,
when they ask that?
I'm here with you.
I think I'm here with you. I think a lot of it is the fact that the people, that 1% of people that are doing it, there's not just one person.
That's true.
There's a team effort. Everybody, and that's what there's a lot of division here in the scene.
Sure.
There always is. There's competition, like that. All the possible spots for someone to get inside. First of all, no one even comes to shows. There's nobody gonna be scouting anybody anywhere.
Sure.
There's only
It's
so much
just-
room on Facebook.
Yeah, it's like no one's gonna be showing up at your shows. It's like no executive, no A&R, and it's like they're gonna sit and look and wait for something to go viral on YouTube, and then they're gonna come to something that's already pulling people.
How
So
do
if
you-
you can't do it on your own, then don't expect anybody to jump in. Like, I mean, not label wise, anyways. I mean,
I was going to say, with your experience with MCA, what is it that kind of stands out for you as the thing that let them realize that about what South FM was doing at the time? Do you have any insight on that? Because not to put the words in your mouth, but it sounds a little bit like what we're talking about is you guys had a really solid video presence prior to being signed. Is that correct?
No, I don't think we had prior to being signed.
Okay.
No, we had a song.
Okay.
And everybody got real carried away about that one song.
Right on.
It was just hot. Like the scene was hot. Like you just had to be there. Like
Right on.
There were A&R people
kind
of. There was a lot of attention on Dallas.
Sure.
At the time too. So, but it was just this one specific song that kind of made it happen. But in the sense of like trying to survive as an artist, like of course, like video is everything, man. I mean, it's how long has MTV been around? I mean, you gotta at least have a video of your hit song. It's like, and when you see that, and everybody's on, people listen to music, believe this or not. People actually, their source of music is YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's why YouTube now categorizes and puts these playlists together.
Yep. Automatically, they will.
There's a company that I use, and I send in my music, and they upload it, from Spotify to iTunes, they put it on everything. And they also I didn't even know they were gonna do it, but for the songs I don't have videos for on my albums, no matter whether I have video or up or not for it, they go to YouTube and they just have the song playing in the cover of the album.
Yeah, I've seen that more and more recently.
People listen to music like that sometimes.
Well, I mean, and YouTube caught on to that at the beginning of this year and mashed, well, I guess maybe 2015, but they mixed in this thing called a Music Pass. So I have been using Google Play for something like 3 years, and then they melded it into the new subscription service that you can have with YouTube. So literally now I can go and look up a video, like I could play your entire playlist of your videos in the background on my phone as I'm going from place to place, and it'll just play that. Literally play it. It's what I do. It's like I lose it backgammon every time. Yeah. But I mean, they're making it easier, and it is. I mean, YouTube's the second largest search engine that anybody deals with. It's Google.
Oh,
the Googs.
It's just so important, man. It's like
they're not the same.
Not really, not anymore.
What are we without? If somebody hasn't seen the live show,
yeah,
how do you get them to the live show?
Yeah,
you want to have a good live video,
Well, what about the argument that some folks have that let's say you've gone on Saturday night, you had your show, you had your let's say you had a good night, you had your 50 to 60 people show up and claim you at the door and all that stuff, but then for the following week you're seeing bits and pieces of your same performance popping up online, and you see so many more people that are commenting on it there. Do you think that that's kind of circumventing that live show by having that footage available with a longer tail than the actual performance itself?
Do I think that someone is going to sit at a computer and go, well, I just saw him live on the computer. Now I'm not going to go to the live show. Right, yeah. No. The people that are going to watch it on a computer is someone that wouldn't have seen it at all.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, it's you can't play to everybody. I mean,
have you watched anything else on the streaming live?
Your show.
Have I?
I mean, yeah, I have.
Yeah?
I would have never gone to those concerts, but I'm watching somebody stream from that concert. And
that's a good point.
For more than 30 minutes, I've watched concerts that I would have never gone to.
Right.
And
yeah, I love it.
Just out of the fascination that someone else is doing that. I'm like, someone else is holding their freaking phone up.
Right, yeah.
Playing it for us.
Well,
it's not great, but
he's doing it because he wants attention on his.
Mira,
he's trying to
look at me.
It was a girl.
Same thing. I'm sure she wants you just to look at her photos of her half naked. But when it comes with video thing, where you guys were talking about earlier about like what FU video does,
sure,
and the way that it does it is what I love about it is that it's capturing something that's so like now, like he's using media to help create, like, you ever seen the movie Vanilla Sky?
Yeah.
And they stop and he's reviewing all the memories that he has and how they were all like put together like this photograph of them standing in the street, and it's actually an old Bob Dylan cover, right, these iconic things, so like he's taking iconic things and helping them tell a story. It's the same thing that like when Bowling for Soup sings a song called 1985, and he says Springsteen, Madonna way before Nirvana.
Right.
It's like like Nicholas is using media to create media,
Right.
but it's like, but that's how we
Very meta.
That's how we communicate. Like, how many conversations can you hold with a friend who watches Family Guy, and you just will go back and forth repeating lines, but you're just quoting, you're just regurgitating something you've seen, but it's a natural conversation. You guys actually have it,
Right.
And some sort of communication took place,
Right. Yeah.
you know, and you like that guy even more because he watches Family Guy.
So I always thought it would be cool to actually write in chronological order the movies that I watched as a person, like the first movie that I can remember,
Wow.
and like show how that made me the person I am. Because like you're like I,
That's next level, man.
Blow your mind right here. So,
Right.
sorry to interrupt you, but like, I came across this videotape back in the 80s. You know, we found out that you could hook your VCRs up, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And the long play videotapes you'd rent from Blockbuster had one video on them, but then you'd
Right.
take them and you'd dumb down, you'd dub 3 movies on the one tape at a different speed, right?
Yeah.
So then I grew up watching these videos that had 3 movies all stacked together. And I came across this tape that I watched a lot when I was a kid, and I forgot about it. And it starts out with Ernest Goes to Camp, which is this crazy. Starts out with this thing about this Indian passage of youth into manhood, and it says, you know, if he's brave, or if he is pure of heart, the spear will not pierce him, and they throw this thing at him, and the whole thing is about them standing up to keep their camp, and there's even a time where this guy, you know, who's pointing a gun from the construction company who wants to tear down the camp, points a gun at Ernest, and they revert back to, if he's pure of heart, the blade will not pierce him.
Right.
And he sticks his finger in that gun, and like the gun misses him. And I'm like, I'm a child
kids the lore of
watching
Yeah,
this,
right.
but it's teaching me to stand up.
Right.
What I believe in that, and against all odds, even if there's a gun pointing at me, to still stand in front of that tank, you know?
Sure.
So then Garbage Pail Kids is the next movie,
Right on.
which teaches us how being different is okay. It's not gross, and you know, you see this girl's hardcore, and she's supposed to be kind of a bitch, but
Right.
then even she has a soft side, too, and it humanizes people. And then they did it with the cartoon Pinocchio,
Right on.
where the fairy godmother comes down and sings this awesome song. She's like, love is the light inside your heart where your freedom has to start. And it's just like,
Right on.
and so like these 3 movies, I was just like,
That
my
defines
parents
your life right
didn't
there.
teach me shit.
It was for the films.
These movies like brought me these incredible things that I hold dear.
Sure.
Like, it's like huge pillars of my belief system, you know?
All right, so side note, what made me think of that was I read this article that Jimmy Carter, even though he only served 1 term, showed more movies in the White House than any other president's ever shown.
Wow.
And they cataloged it, and some guy did an open records research
Yeah.
and got every movie in chronological order, the date that it was played.
Wow.
He had Francis Ford Coppola and his wife and family there and screened Apocalypse Now
Holy shit.
3 weeks before it came out.
That's cool, man. Is Jimmy
There-
Carter? He was the first evangelical Christian politician.
There were some actually things that you would think were like, whoa, like they were
Really?
Were questions. Yeah, go look at this.
I am totally looking
It's
that
like
up.
412 movies.
Wow.
Yeah, in a very short period of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it what, one every 4 days, one every 5 days, once a week?
There were a couple that were like, you know, a couple in a night, and
Right
it
on.
was like every other day he had a movie.
Well, Paco, I have a question. Do you have any advice for any of the people who are trying to make the grind nowadays? 2016, Deep Ellum or Fort Worth or Denton or anything like that?
Oh, fake it. Fake it.
Fake it till you make it?
No, just
You're fake
when
self.
I was a child, it was about the end result was a major label,
Okay.
and then you're like, okay, well you'll have to stop when you're 30, because that's probably a pretty smart time. And then 30 comes and it's like, okay, I saw a major label a long time ago and I haven't seen one, and there's probably not one in sights anymore.
Sure.
Because I'm too old. But I don't know. I kept on doing it, and in keeping on doing it, I just realized I was like, you do it because you love music, And that's the only reason you do it. If you start doing it because you want to be on a major label or you want to be on some show or you want to win some competition, I mean, it's art. It's not a competition, and you do it because you love to do it, and you make it your own, just like any business person does. You make it your own business. Sorry, was there a bong behind me? You make it your own business. You make it. You set your LLC up. You go out there and you play your shows. You make sure you get what's due to you, and you go out. You spread out regionally. You can go 5 hours out each direction, and still be able to make enough money to pay a band and cover gas.
Right. Don't take any guff off you swine.
Don't take any guff off that swine. No, you just gotta give. It's like, if this is what you really want, and you're an artist, then you just gotta create. So do it, and don't. The end result should just be now.
Sure.
Don't worry about tomorrow. Like, what are you doing today? How are you? It's like, just do music every single day, and then the next thing you know, it'll be like, oh, I'm doing music for a living.
Right on.
It's like one day at a time. Just keep choosing to be better at your craft, better writers, better networkers. Use everything that's handed you. Don't throw anything away. Use every bit of, from social media to, when I go to the bank, I like to go in and take a stack of CDs and talk to people.
Right.
When I go to a restaurant, I like to go in and find a hot waitress and hand her a CD and get another stack rolling.
Yeah.
CDs are the business cards. Eat the money. You can get 1,000 CDs in nice full color sleeves for $600 online somewhere. I know you can. I do it all the time.
And just as a side note, remember that YouTube hits and Facebook likes are a commodity that meant nothing 20 years ago. Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Those meant absolutely nothing to artists, to musicians, to actors, to
and
those things.
Those numbers are great if you're communicating and putting things out. That's another thing. There is a need for the video stuff, is because you want to stay active without being boring, and you don't want to be an artist that every time you send something out, it's just about asking people to come to shows.
Right. Yeah.
Put out content. Be an artist. Make what you're doing that interesting.
Right.
And to where people do want to see, what did Paco get into today? Paco went down to the studio. Oh, there's some footage. I want to see it. There's a video. I want to see it. There's some live music coming out. Always have content. That's how. She's talking about Steve Jobs. She's talking about, it's like, they had products lined up.
Right. Constantly
line up
new
your
things.
Products. Line them up. It's your business. This is what, so, and everything you do, every live show is an opportunity to market that. Even after the show's done, if the show is done really, really well, and you spent the time to do some filming, you spent the time to grab the live recordings, there's always some way to market what you're doing at all times.
Right on.
Google, preferably. You type in Paco Estrada. Once you get to the EST, at least to the R, I pop up.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I'm kind of lucky with that name. But you can
Eric.
I'm telling you.
Eric Estrada, my uncle from Chips. But if you just Google Paco Estrada, it'll link you to all my stuff. My PacoEstrada.com goes directly to my Facebook. I'd love to be a friend, and I would love, not only for you to come see a live show, but to get involved with live music in general. I have a lot of other different projects that you'll find, but PacoEstrada.com will get you started. And like I said, just type in Paco Estrada. My videos will pop up on YouTube. You'll find me, Paco Estrada TV, on Instagram as well as YouTube. And I'm out there. My music is on Spotify and iTunes. You can listen to it for free, or you can choose to pay for it.
Right on.
All right, everybody, that'll do it for another installment of 30 Videos in 30 Days with Deep Video. I've been your host, Jason Dyer. We've been joined by Paco Estrada. If you have any questions for us, you can find us at deepvideobooking@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at deepvideo. Let us know where you want us to be with those cameras on the weekend so we can kind of make this scene pop in the way that you like. If you want to take a look at some of the stills from all the various bunkers and underground hovels that we go to, you can find us at Instagram, where we could not afford the last 2 letters of the name, at DeepVid. Otherwise, please go to the Indiegogo page, search for Cooperatives Dallas, and you will find us right there. Thanks.
And don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/deepvideolive.
Paul's good at what he does.